Start.
Good afternoon. This is my final presentation. In the beginning of the program, my English skill was as poor as everyone else in this class. I had many weaknesses, such as intonation, rhythm, word stress, vowels, diphthongs, and speaking rate. So my goal was to improve my weaknesses and speak authentic English. So holding my resolution, I started this rigorous step-up program. Through the assignments, I improved. Rita did give us a pretty light workload. However, I got a boatload of insights from her. First is the accent analysis sentence recording. I learned the most important pronunciation rule in my life. That is to pronounce the T between two vowels as a quiet sound D. For example, patio, fundamental, better, oratory. So the second is the log. I averagely spent 2 hours every night to practice my listening and speaking skills. My effort paid off, and also I learned practice does make people perfect. The third is the weekly news and the weekly journal. Both of them are instrumental to my process of achieving my resolution. They have enabled me to listen to my own presentation, from which I can find my own flaws and correct them accordingly. For example, I couldn't understand myself the first time, usually because I didn't make the vowels long enough, or I just simply clipped the final consonant. I'm known for splitting hairs and correcting flaws both to myself and to my classmates. After I talked about the assignments, how I improved from doing the assignments, I improved through the class discussions. I improved. Now at the imminence of completion, I'm very confident about my presentation skills. My timid little heart was solidified, hardened, and reddened by the inspirational speech and my midterm presentation. In the debate, the debate was the very first formal debate I have ever conducted. I experienced all the steps that are involved in a debate. But what I appreciated and I valued, I learned, I enjoyed most was team collaboration. Through the process of researching together, we springboarded our friendships. And another very important part of class discussion is the feedbacks. I treasure all the feedbacks from both teachers and students. Sometimes I can't find flaws in my speech, but however, other people can. And next is the personal dedication. This is the portion I deem as the most important step to succeed. So during the course of study, I summarized some key very important techniques to help us become better English speakers. And the chronological of this list is important because first few techniques are for English beginners only. As the list goes down, more sophisticated English speakers, English learners can apply. And the tips for English beginners and masters can be somewhat different. The first technique is to speak more slowly. You still can be fluent when you speak slowly. Second technique is to take your time to speak some of the long and difficult words. You can also take your time to speak some of the keywords too. Third, to pronounce the ending of each word. People, including native speakers, sometimes omit the final consonants. For example, the S sound at the end of the plural words and the D sound in the past tense. The fourth is to group words according to thought groups. This is to make you sound more sensible and understandable. However, this technique requires you to have a pretty good intuition about English syntax and grammar and sentence structure. And at this stage of learning English, you have already notched a level up. The fifth step is to take a breath between thought groups. There are two benefits associated with this technique. First, breathing creates rhythm. When you breathe, you have to pause for a few seconds. Second, this helps you to pronounce aspirations. The seventh technique is to stress on the right syllable. This technique seems quite easy, but it's really important. You can speak a sentence with perfect pronunciation, grammar, sentence structure, or intonation, but you only make a minor mistake on the syllable stress. This is going to cause native speakers not understand you at all. However, on the contrary, if you have good syllable stress, you're going to have good rhythm just like most of the news anchors. This is the most important step to reduce your Oriental accent. The eighth technique is to increase your speaking rate. The seventh technique is to make every word have a long vowel and also a long diphthong. I can't stress more on this one. Let's compare those words. Star Trek and road track, windowsill and Navy SEAL, drive or ship dock, or and puppy dog, the last and both and. The eighth technique and also the last technique is to increase your speaking rate. By this point, you should have developed your intonation and rhythm quite well. And congratulations, you are already a half-decent English speaker. By then, you will clip the unnecessary ends and improve your linking speech by applying this technique. However, the other half of decency only comes with a lot of practice. So finally, I want to give you a word of caution. Baby don't start running before they learn how to crawl. We have to take baby steps. If you don't start from the drawing board, you ain't gonna draw anything. If you don't start from scratch, you ain't gonna sketch anything. So in the end, I think I achieved my goal about 80%. In the future, I think I should proceed with the listening and speaking longs. But the only challenge I had associated with this class is like note-taking skills. Thank you very much.